First stop was Guadalupe Mountain National Park. But just before we get started, I wanted you to know that all the music you hear today was composed and recorded by me. No AI was involved, I actually recorded each instrument separately. And that, I think, is worth a like and a subscribe. Guadalupe Mountains is only an hour and 47 minutes from El Paso. There are several scenic drives throughout the park, but mostly what you come here to do is hike, and possibly backcountry camping. We did a small hike. It was in fact a very short hike because we had to get to our next destination where we had a reservation. That next destination is of course another national park, Carlsbad Cavern National Park. There's something you should know about this trip. This was the week that the government shut down. There was nothing really on the websites yet, and I was pretty optimistic by the fact that Guadalupe Mountain was open, but I was very excited for Carlsbad Cavern. I had my tickets, and I dreamed of this since I was a kid, and we went on a cross-country trip, and I saw the signs, and oh darn, it's closed. Park's closed. Moose out front should have told you. This is ridiculous. Honestly, I think the government owes me on this one. Do you think any of those guys will pay for me to do another trip?
He wants to give us
We stopped at this gift shop, which is right outside the park, and the alien gave me a consolative hug. Of course, now I was desperate to find something else to do in the area, and luckily I found the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens State Park, which was just past these really big houses. The animals you'll find at this zoo are pretty much the same ones you'll find in the wild in this area. It's just easier to see them all because they're all in one place. You know, a place like this. The walking tour around the park is 1.3 miles long. There is a small hill. It's not that bad.
Say that.
It's only $10 for an adult and $5 for a kid to get in. Oh wait for this. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And it's really a great way to spend a few hours. From there, it was another 2.5-hour drive to our hotel for that night in Roswell, New Mexico. If you're keeping track, that was only 5 hours of driving the first day. And Roswell did not disappoint for its hotel. Or I should say, motel. I really wanted to stay someplace that had an alien theme since we were in Roswell, so we stayed at the Roswell Inn. It was only $70 for the night to stay, plus it gets a 9 out of 10 on reviews on Hotels.com for 1,000 reviews. Found it to be clean and comfortable.
Hi there.
I couldn't tell for sure if this was a UFO or if this was their satellite dish that had fallen off the roof. But it was this sign that convinced me to stay there. Up early the next morning and on our way to Fort Sumner. Did you know that in October, tarantulas migrate? As we drove down the road, I kept thinking I saw tarantulas. Then I spotted one for sure.
Crikey, it's a beard.
Oh yeah, that's even worse than I thought. I'm glad this thing's nice and long.
It's a rose. It's a butte.
It is a beaut. Crikey. Well, don't mess with it.
It touched me.
Oh, you're friends now.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, that... Okay, you said they're not fast. That was too fast.
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Where you going? Come back. Come back. Come back. You want me to pick it up?
No, I do not. Yeah, not a big fan of the arachnids. Okay, continuing on to Fort Sumner. If you know the story of Billy the Kid, you know that Fort Sumner is where Pat Garret caught up to him and killed him. This is also the site of his grave. I've been trying to decide lately, do you think Billy the Kid is really a good guy? He seemed to be on the good side of the Lincoln County War, but then he also did stuff like this. You may want to pause and read this. He was definitely like the Han Solo of the West. Although in this version, Han somehow rigged Greedo's gun so that it couldn't fire, and then he shot him. Here's something I'm going to recommend that you do before you visit these Billy the Kid sites in New Mexico. Watch Young Guns, watch the Billy the Kid series. Both are really entertaining, and both of them get certain aspects of the story correct. But what I recommend is while you're watching the series, also read up on each of the characters. I tell you what, it will change the way you experience these destinations.
Look at all the free money in there.
Right next door to the graveyard is the Fort Sumner Chamber of Commerce. They have a free museum, which is very nice and gives you the full story of Billy the Kid. And they're also currently recreating the room in which Billy the Kid was murdered. At the time of our visit, it was not done yet, and it was kind of creepy, actually. Pretty sure this was the setting for a scary movie. I mean, especially if your name's Billy the Kid. On our way back out of town, we stopped at the Billy the Kid Museum. I love roadside attractions, and this museum is a good one. But calling this the Billy the Kid Museum is a little bit of a misnomer. Yes, there is Billy the Kid history to be found here, like these newspaper clippings about Rushy Bill Roberts who claimed to be Billy the Kid. There's also a recreation of his gravesite without the bars, and you can even pretend to escape from an old-timey jail just like Billy the Kid.
Let me out. I've never been here.
But those weren't really the best parts of this museum, although I did enjoy playing in the jail. I'd call this museum more of a den of nostalgia. There are all sorts of household items from the 20th and 19th century.
Look,
There was even this gem, which I think was taken from my parents' house because this is exactly what my snowspeeder looked like the last time I saw it. I take that back, mine was missing the tow cable. The whole thing only takes about 30 minutes to walk through, and I think it's really worth it. I will continue to support every roadside attraction I can find. From there, we had to backtrack a little bit and go back to Roswell. This time, we were making a stop at the UFO Museum. This museum is centered around the Roswell incident, but that's certainly not where it stops. There are some fun interactive exhibits, like these aliens here. Or if you're looking to dive deep into aliens and UFOs, there is an extensive library at this museum. It was an hour and 25-minute drive to our next destination, which was Lincoln County, New Mexico. If you're already a fan of the Young Guns movie or the Billy the Kid series, this is where it all happened. There are signs all over town telling you what you're looking at. But there were two sites that piqued my excitement. First, there's the Tunstall store, which was the center point of the entire war. At the end of this building, though, there was a stable, and from that stable is where Billy the Kid came out and shot Sheriff Brady. Unfortunately, while we were there, the Tunstall store was closed. It is fully dependent on volunteers that live in the area to be open, and we just got unlucky. The other location that got me super excited about this adventure was the location of the McSween house. This is the location at the end of Young Guns where they're caught in the house. They're surrounded by the military and Murphy's men, and the house gets lit on fire.
The end of Young Guns happened right here.
They never rebuilt the house, and so it's more like looking at a lot.
The house was never rebuilt.
But it was really powerful for me to be standing in this location where this big historical event happened. There are several places where you can just walk inside the buildings around town, like the original courthouse. There's also a museum in town, but we just missed it.
Well, that's bad timing.
Close at 4.
We did get to practice our lassoing.
I'll show you when it's my turn. Right here, hold this.
First, I
Wouldn't
did
it
my
be a lot
impression of
easier
Billy
if you just
Crystal.
walked up? See how easy it is? What's wrong with that?
You got it.
But then I showed the skills I learned as a kid pretending to be Indiana Jones and using a bullwhip translated to lassoing a cow.
Oh, I got a horn. That
Nice.
counts, right?
That counts.
Again, this is one of those places that I
Indiana
really
Jones
think
stuff
you
when I was
should
a
know
kid.
the story before you get there. It makes the whole experience better. From there, we drove an hour and 45 minutes to Alamogordo, New Mexico, which is where our hotel was for the night because the next morning was our final destination. Not like in the movie, like we didn't die, but it was the last place we were going to go. But if you're keeping score, that was 5 hours and 26 minutes of driving for that day. Before I show you the beauty of White Sands, though, there's a few more roadside attractions I want to show you. And the first one up, well, I'm just going to let myself introduce
I want
it.
to get you too excited, but we have arrived at McGinn's Pistachio Land and the world's largest pistachio. There it is, folks. Take it all in. Unless you're allergic to nuts, then don't.
If you have a roadside attraction that has world's largest, there's a guarantee that I want to stop at it. Which leads me to my next stop, which is technically out of order, but I wanted to share it with this one, is the world's largest chili pepper. And there it is. This is in the parking lot, as you can see, of the Big Chili Inn. A very well-named inn, if you ask me. It is open. And no, there are no cars in the parking lot. The chili itself, it seems like it's very well kept up. The paint job looks great. But now I've seen it, and we can move on.
Was it worth the extra 30 minutes? I mean, yeah. Probably. And look, a little baby pepper. Oh, isn't it cute, the little baby pepper?
The last little roadside stop I wanted to show you was Boland's Running Indian. Again, these are out of order. This is only a mile away from the world's largest pistachio. This is the kind of place that you pass on vacation and your kids make you stop and you have to buy them something. At least that was my perspective as a kid. I did almost buy these boxers though. They're hilarious. We got to the park about 20 minutes before it opened, and there was already a line. When we finally got in, we learned why there was a line. Most of the park was not open, and there was very limited parking out by the dunes. The only thing I will say negative about White Sands National Park is that I expected the hills to be taller. I expected sledding down to take something like, 5 minutes to get to the bottom. It doesn't take that long. But it was very beautiful, and so I will let you enjoy the scenery along with the music that I've written for it.
Where's the...
Stacks of them in what's it called? Alamogordo over here.
Oh,
Like that.
We went last
okay. Thank God. All right.
I did find it leaning back.
I'm doing it! Okay. All right, that was fun. I'll get... At least the rain makes it a little easier.
Hey, if you got this far, thanks for watching. You are my favorite, and I'll see you next time.